So this is Tower Defense X, Roblox's biggest new tower defense game, which recently entered public beta. And in the 24 hours following the game's release, I want to try to grind out as many coins as possible, earn a ton of achievements, and beat the different game modes. But since literally everyone would be starting with no strong towers or anything, that was going to be a bit tricky. So as the game was set to release, I was actually already in the lobby. I talked about this before, I made a video, but I was lucky enough to be invited to test TDX. I'm a very good tester, meaning I had a slight advantage here. I was able to proudly claim the number 8 spot on the leaderboard, and I had already earned a bit of extra starting cash from those 3 wins. Yeah, I'm already cheating, okay? In the minutes before release, I made a bit of small talk with various other testers and developers.
Yes, sir. What is your favorite Huggy Wuggy?
But in all seriousness, it was a pretty cool moment to have so many people who worked on the game all chilling here, waiting for the clock to turn. And then the game was officially open. Now, the only tower people had at this point was the Ranger. The starter tower, the scout equivalent, a goofy little guy with some solid damage and decent ability, but still not that strong. So I decided to spend my legitimately obtained bonus money to buy my first real tower early, the Missile Trooper. And, hopping into the matchmaking tank, I began a round on Volcanic Mishap. We picked Easy Mode, the simplest of the 4 game modes, and the only one we could realistically beat. My teammates placed down Rangers, and this other tower, Operator, which could take out the early zombies easily. I saved a bit to place my Missile Trooper, straight up one of the best towers to get early, high damage, splash damage, happiness. Again, this was easy mode, so none of these zombies were particularly challenging for our team. I fully upgraded my tower to get the Javelin upgrade, which gave it a massive rocket launcher dealing a ton of damage. Shortly afterwards, we reached wave 25, where the first of the final bosses spawned, the Plague Doctor. Nah, I mean with 40,000 health, he isn't a pushover, but his abilities are nowhere near as deadly as the later bosses. He debuffed and then stunned our towers with his gun. He has a gun and a little stomp move. But our DPS was otherwise steady, so even though this map was kinda short, and right near the end he used another ability, we did take him out, earning 150 gold and 2,515 experience. Not a lot honestly, and I wanted to get some more powerful towers, so I decided to bump up the difficulty and try to get a win on intermediate mode. First attempt didn't go very well. My team and I were on the Apocalypse map, one of the most bleak and depressing selections, but it had a really long path. Unfortunately, one of our teammates left early as they suffered from a bug where their cache didn't load in. Again, this was a beta release, so there were a few minor issues. Nothing too crazy, but this might be related to another glitch where you could sneak a 5th player into quad-op games. You might have noticed that in the previous game. Anyways, my remaining teammates placed Rangers to defend early, along with Operator. Again, he was in the previous game and is another easily accessible tower, with 2 paths offering either hidden detection or the ability to call in a Humvee to deal bonus damage. It helped us survive while I saved for Missile Trooper. Yet, against the stronger zombies of this mode, he wasn't quite as much of a carry. We leaked this Revived Titan zombie, which I didn't think was terrible, since we could place more towers at the back to catch it. We then leaked a Charger boss, which I did think was terrible. It had way too much health and ended our run. So for the next game I returned to easy mode. The map here was Cow Annoyance, my personal favorite map in the game. It just has a really nice aesthetic honestly, I like it a lot. And these funny little cardboard cow cutouts. These low-key block your tower's line of sight, like they can't see past them, which does make this map quite annoying. And when the Plague Doctor spawned in, he cooked us. His stunning attacks were a lot more severe this time with how limited range was. He hit us with the blue gun blast, the red gun blast, and the green gun blast too. One of us was right there. Missile Troopers couldn't do enough, and the Plague Doctor's use of a summon ability at the exit sealed the game. I blame the cows. I teamed up with different players, and we got an extremely tight W on the Ancient Sky Islands map, but I still didn't have enough money for my next tower, so I turned to the forbidden gold grinding technique, Elite Mode, the second hardest difficulty, before I'd even beaten Intermediate. I teamed up with Xenos, Isaac, and Viper to try to get carried in a few runs, and Poopy the Poopster 1 was here for this game. However, our military harbor attempt didn't quite work out. So we tried again on Winter Fort, a pretty difficult map, and Poopy the Poopster 1 wasn't there this time. I got a Missile Trooper, which combined powers with a Laser Gunner, a powerful DPS tower quite hard to unlock, with unique characteristics to combat stealth type zombies. That said, counter ratio dead. Yeah, elite mode was quite difficult, especially with limited tower selections. But we gave it one more try on Vapor City, a very aesthetic map and one with a lot more prime placement space. This time we survived the early game and my team was able to get some economy going with farms. The farm here is nothing too crazy mechanics wise, however the animations, crazy. A plane flies above at the start of every wave and physically drops down the cash crates. And we definitely needed that money, as around the mid-wave 20s, a ton of these abominations and stealth abomination zombies began spawning. And when I say a ton, like actually these guys combined probably weigh several of them. It was only thanks to a juggernaut that we survived at all. This is the most powerful DPS tower, which can reach some truly insane numbers, but I'll talk about him a bit more later. Because during this run, we had bigger problems. Wave 27, one away from the boss. Abomination spawned. Okay. And multipliers. Ugh. Basically, these little dudes multiply every zombie around them when they die. So what this meant is... yeah, I decided to go back to intermediate, playing with random teammates again. I started to run off on the secret forest map, which has a pretty short path, but the advantage of water for certain naval towers, and we lost in 5 minutes. The next run though, so we were on the ancient Sky Island. At this point, the 5-player lobby bug hadn't been fully fixed, and one of my teammates, Uiv, really took advantage of that, to go absolutely berserk with his farms. By wave 16, we were starting to struggle, but he was just chasing his bag. We made it past my previous best attempt, and encountered the first mini-boss, the Predator. Basically, he kill your tower, which... bad. We placed some bait towers to distract them. This is a strategy to redirect tower killing abilities away from the actually good stuff, and sacrifice some level 0 towers. The following waves weren't too tough, and Uev even continued to farm. We reached the final boss, arriving 10 waves later than normal mode. It's the Eradicator. This is the future of AI. Those funny movie posters led to this. He has 140,000 health and a lot of weapons. A big sword, a missile launcher, steel-toed teeth. He immediately began using his rocket-powered abilities to kill our towers. The baits served their purpose, sacrificed themselves, but pretty quickly, he transitioned into his second phase, gaining a lot of movement speed and using even more abilities. I used my excess money to spam more missile troopers, but things were still looking kinda shaky. With 20,000 health left, he used his flamethrower ability to burn up more of our towers. RIP. Yet, at the end of the path, we won, earning 400 gold and a ton of EXP. Ignore this pop-up, I'm not gonna buy VIP. This gave me enough currency for a new tower, and I chose to cop the patrol boat, a strong sea-based tower which can use its bottom path to spread splash damage through a flamethrower, or the top path with huge range and hellfire missiles. The only downside is you need water to actually use it. I brought it into my final game of the night on Misleading Pond, and it handled the intermediate difficulty zombies with ease. One of my teammates, it was either Minifridge or Riley, I don't know who, started spamming a massive chain of mine layers, another unique tower that plants explosives along the path, which was pretty funny and made... Okay, I actually ran out of storage space on my computer here, like I just couldn't record anymore. So instead, I took a bunch of screenshots throughout the rest of the game to showcase the end of this intermediate run. First here, we killed these stealth zombies with operators in the back, trust me. The boat's flamethrower really cooked here. This is the top path boat, I believe. Zoinks, Predator mini-boss, boom boom, please carry. We started placing some bait towers, and we get them, thanks to the boom booms. Next, the Eradicator spawns. We gonna die? Decent chip damage, doing a bit more here with boats. He's pushing further. RIP to these rangers. And he's dead. Blasts off into the sky. I had to be quick to get this screenshot. We win. Happy ending. Mine layer hits his little dance. Thank you. A visual novel by me. So anyways, I went to sleep. First thing the next day, I woke up and I bought VIP. And then I used that gold to buy another tower, the Operator, who I've already talked about a lot. He's goated. I took the new loadout into a match on Danger Beach. Having completed 2 of the 4 modes at this point, I said, we should try Elite. It'd be funny. The problem was, none of us had the top tier towers unlocked yet, no Juggernaut, no laser gun or anything, and we were just stretched way too thin by the mid game. On wave 22, these abominations didn't kill us, we're not scrubs. Wave 23 abominations, even further back, come on. Wave 24? Yeah, we lost. So in hindsight, we shouldn't have tried Elite, and it wasn't funny. Rejoining the lobby, by pure chance, I ran into Stealth Nova and Yoru. TDS staff members, and Satori, a TDX developer. He made the cow annoyance map, and I joined them as we attempted to triumph Elite mode. First attempt, I may or may not have accidentally left the game, because Roblox VIP server links are stupid and don't work, right? But the second attempt was money. I didn't have as good towers as my teammates, so I kinda just placed an operator to start. And after 3 waves, Nyoru got down a laser gunner. For my previous elite mode attempts, I knew this dude would be pretty important. We took down the 5 chain zombies in wave 7, and then the resurrected ranger zombie in wave 10. He's mad about being sacrificed. Nova also placed a mine layer, Riz layer, which hard carried. For sure. And we got a bunch more stuff down. On wave 20, the first of the abominations spawned in. And mine layer took it out. Yeah, I wasn't lying, it is a hard carry. Wave 21. I was lying, it's not a hard carry. Our missile troopers barely sniped the last abominations. And then the next wave, I thought we needed backups, but a single missile trooper hit this insane snipe. So yeah, we were chilling. Wave 24 was the time we did have to place some backups. The horde of zombies by this point was just massive. An EDJ had also been placed, and its buffs were necessary for our towers. This is a support unit that can increase fire rates or decrease upgrade costs, and it has the best skin in the game. On wave 25, Satori placed down a Juggernaut. This tower can reach over 1000 DPS, and is currently the most expensive tower to unlock normally. As I said before, it is insanely good. We were still being pushed back though. I just continued placing my missile troopers and praying. On wave 27, the point I had lost previously, Nyoru placed down another Juggernaut, and it wasn't a problem. There definitely just abominations here, right? Am I crazy? So after clearing that wave, it was time for the final boss. The revived Plague Doctor. With his HP bar boosted by 130,000 in a fresh new fit. He immediately lit us up with his robo-arm gun thing, which straight up killed these operators here. Satori maxed out his Juggernaut, I got another maxed missile trooper, and then started placing rangers as baits, misdirecting another one of his attacks. I realized while watching this back that most of them actually tanked it, like only these 4 died. Goated. I used my extra money for another missile trooper, but honestly it wasn't really needed. We cooking them. His HP bar was melting under the power of the heavy towers. Yet in the end, it was the mine layer who took him out. I told you, this tower hard carries. We earned a bunch of rewards, and checking the badge stats, we're within the first 1,000 people to beat the mode. This will be my legacy. I felt pretty content with victories over 3 of the 4 modes, and decided to not try to be expert yet, for the sake of my own mental health. However, the 24 hours weren't quite up yet, and I did want to get a couple more unlocks. So I speedran some rounds. I tried to beat Winterfort on intermediate with Noob, Creek Fan, and Ren. This run didn't go very well, we lost. But I did get to witness another unique tower in game. John, based off the game creator John Roblox. It's a pretty standard tower on its first 4 levels, but on the final stages of each path, it gets a special ability. The top path gives a damage buff, and the bottom path, we lost the game like 10 seconds later, I can't showcase it. Still, the gold reward, combined with another quick easy mode win, gave me enough for 2 more towers. The shotgunner, which honestly sucked, like I never once placed this thing, and the cryoblaster. This is a very odd tower. I feel like there's gonna be certain strats which will break the game with it, and then casual players will just use it and it'll suck. I like using it early because it can freeze the weak zombies and keep the game going infinitely, but if you don't know how to use it, it falls off pretty hard late game. I don't know how to use it. This game, where I tried hard focusing on it, we ended up losing. I blame the cows. I tried to get an intermediate win on Swordfight in the Heights, definitely a harder map. My teammate, I Like Pie a Lot, was using an interesting gold grinding technique by playing on 2 accounts at once, the Subway Surfers Pokemon Showdown maximum loot strategy. I mean, this run was looking promising, it was looking okay, and then their 4th teammate left, and then the run was looking... We held out until wave 20, but yeah, that one was rough. Joining the lobby again, I ran into Creek Fan, one of my teammates from that failed Winter Fort run, just randomly in the lobby. What are the odds? This time we picked an easier map for intermediate, but unfortunately our other 2 teammates, Mihi and Leroy Jenkins, didn't have many towers unlocked. And against the tougher zombies, rangers were not as effective. We ended up dying on wave 25. Okay, second to last game here, blocks out intermediate. Based on that fraud tower. With missile trooper spam, we won that game, and to give me the final coins I needed, I speedran another easy mode win. So, to end off the day, I bought the farm, because money is good. So yeah, that was about what I did in the first 24 hours of the game's release. The grind is kind of rough, but the game is being actively updated, and I also think that's partially the nature of starting fresh in this genre. And there's a lot of really cool towers I'm yet to obtain, so part 2. Other notes, I did have access to the admin panel, you might have noticed in the bottom left here. I did not use it during any of these games, or, you know, no, a recording, haha. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for